guys, welcome back. It's another week again. If you see us on the screen anytime, you know it's all about Manchester United, and I'm here again with my partner, my friend, and my brother from another mother. Dish. So Dish is up to you.
Yes, Mo. How are you? How are you feeling
Yeah,
this week?
I'm not good. I'm not gonna say I'm okay because of what happened during the weekend. The game we lost to Fulham at Old Trafford. I'm not
Uh,
gonna say I'm okay because of that.
and the cherry on top was Liverpool winning the Carabao
The
Cup
Carabao Cup, yeah.
against Chelsea, and apparently they did it with kids. I saw the game. No, apparently it was a good game. I think Chelsea could have won, but it just rubbed salt into my wounds for this
Yeah,
weekend. I genuinely don't think that we have a shot of getting Champions League again this season. If we would have beaten Fulham, that would have given us unreal amounts of momentum. And then losing to City just is granted given the state that we are in. Hopefully, we don't say stuff like this next season, whereby
yeah.
I don't want us to feel that, oh, it's normal to lose to City, oh, it's normal to lose to Liverpool. No, next season, when under a proper structure, I would like us to have a real fight. I'm not saying go for the title next year, but at least please just put in some respectable performances like we did
Yeah,
last
but
season.
Ten Hag's record against like Pep Guardiola, he's been here at United since June 2022 and he's played against City four times.
Mm-hmm.
First time we lost to City 6-3 at Etihad. We
Yeah.
managed to beat them 2-1 at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And then we lost at Wembley in the
FA
FA
Cup.
Cup. And then this season we lost 3 at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So it's
And
been like 1 out of 4 win.
well, but then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beat Pep Guardiola, I think 4 times in one single year.
Yeah.
It just goes on to show that this isn't the best metric to
Mm.
judge if Ten Hag is a good manager or
But I
not.
think Ten Hag is going to be at United till the end of the season with
I,
this performance if this thing keeps
thing
going
is,
like
it's
this.
just really unfair to fire someone over something that they have no control over. If Bruno Fernandes gets injured, that's the biggest indicator of that. Oh, we've been really unlucky this season. Bruno hasn't missed a single game for Man United through
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
And imagine if he misses a game this season through injury. That just goes on to show that something is seriously wrong. The thing is, a lot of people don't seem to fancy Bruno Fernandes at the moment, and I understand why. Because the game against Fulham, he was so frustrating. As soon as he got the ball, he would just lash out. He would just give the ball away, and that was so frustrating. I think if he handled possession better, we maybe would have had a better chance. I remember there was this one chance when Garnacho's on the left and Rashford's on the right, and he clearly has a lot of time. He can maybe take the ball a bit forward and maybe look to pass to either one of those players. But he just immediately tries to pass the ball and just loses possession, and then boom, Fulham counter.
Yeah.
Even what game was that when we conceded? So I don't remember. It was in one of the past weeks whereby uh, I think Diogo Dalot put in a really good ball from the right hand side, and Bruno just let it go, trying to
Yeah.
dummy it, and then immediately the other team scores. So the thing with Bruno Fernandes is maybe he needs this break. I think he's knackered. He's been
Yeah.
our best player for so long. He's also the team's captain. I think he's just tired. He's played way too much football. So maybe if he gets this little break against Man City, and maybe if he gets this break today, oh wow, what a coincidence we're playing today as
Yeah.
well. So
But this
maybe
Yeah, the stats against City this season, like statistically, difference between City, like United and City, is kind of like outraging. Because looking at the goals scored this season, we scored 36 goals this season, and they scored 59 goals already
wow,
this season. And then first half goals scored by United, 14. They scored 25 goals during first half games. We've scored 22 goals in the first half, and they scored 34 goals in the first half. Goals conceded. We've considered 36 goals already, and they've considered 26 goals. We've considered 14 goals first half, and they've considered 12. And we've considered 22 in the second half, and they considered 12. So it seems like we considered a lot of goals during the second half.
yeah,
We
and
considered a lot of goals during the second half.
That's, I'm not really surprised that we've conceded so many goals in the
During the second
entire
half, yeah.
game, anyways, because I think we've conceded the second most amount of shots in
Yeah,
the Premier League
in
this
the Premier
season
League,
after
yeah.
Sheffield United, which is crazy. I don't understand how that happens, and of course, this seems like a fundamental issue that maybe comes from coaching. But I'm a big fan of Ten Hag. I just cannot believe how a manager who was able to build a really exciting team, a really exciting project at Ajax, comes here and just flops. It's just
But I should know, like, the pressure at United and Ajax is not the same.
very well.
United is like a kind of big club compared to
I
Ajax,
totally
so
understand.
it's never going to be the same.
But the thing
It,
is, Ajax hadn't won the league for 4 years before Erik Ten Hag
yeah,
came in, and they won the league in three consecutive years when he was there. Ajax went to the Champions League semi-final, and then when they came back, they won 6 games on the bounce in the group stages. And you've seen how bad Ajax have been ever since Ten Hag's left them as well.
Yeah, but
So if it's very easy to say,
again,
oh,
compare.
that you know what, Ajax
Yeah.
is the Ajax system. Oh,
But again,
if the Ajax system was
Ajax
so
and
good,
United is not the same because Ajax, I think they groom the players to sell them for marketing purposes.
I totally
We don't groom
understand.
players to sell
Yeah,
them. We
yeah,
groom players to achieve on the pitch.
of course.
So it's not going to be the same with Ajax. If they don't qualify for, they don't perform well in the Champions League, it's okay for them. After all, their main purpose or their main focus is not like achieving within the Champions League. They just groom the players to make money out of them.
I totally
But we
understand.
United, we get the players that are groomed from teams like Ajax to win the Champions League. So if you come to United with that kind of like philosophy and be like, okay, I'm just gonna give you. Okay, look at Omari Forsin during the weekend. He bought Ajax, Anthony from Ajax, £80 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then he left him on the bench and he started Omari Forsin from the academy, which means like, okay, he doesn't have even a lot of faith in his player, the player that he brought from Ajax.
Yeah, and what is he supposed to do? The thing is, if he keeps playing Anthony again and again and again, despite him playing bad, then everyone just says, oh, it's favoritism. And then when he drops him, you know, people say, oh, he can't even trust his own players. The thing is, at Man United, no matter what you do, you get scrutinized. My point is, Ajax is the Manchester United of Netherlands, whereby their goal is to win the league every season. Ajax certainly is the biggest club in Netherlands. The same way Man United is the biggest club in England. Of course, it was going to be a jump for Erik Ten Hag to come from Ajax to Man United. When was the last time Man United was in a Champions League semi-final? And when was the last time Ajax were in a Champions League semi-final? 5-6 years ago. So my point is, at Ajax, he had the right structure. He had the right footballing philosophy. Now that we're trying to get that footballing philosophy, I don't think the first step should be to get rid of one of the most exciting managers in Europe. And who are you gonna get anyways?
I saw something about like Ineos trying to get like Zidane in at United.
Thing is, he can't even speak English. They really think Zinedine Zidane really wants the Man United job. Maybe now he does.
Maybe now he does, because he's been out of contract since like he left Real Madrid. He's not been with any club, and which is how many seasons ago? Like 4 seasons or 5 seasons ago.
Yeah, and every time a big club is without a manager, Zinedine Zidane's name comes up. It was with Chelsea. Even multiple times he's been linked with Man United before.
Yeah.
And he's clearly
even before
said,
Ten Hag came,
I don't want to move to England. I don't want to move to England. He just doesn't seem interested at all.
But who's going to be in? That's the big question, because like looking at some of the teams that Liverpool, they're going to be without a manager. Barcelona will be without a manager, and Bayern Munich they will be without a manager. So, and all of these teams will be in the market like, okay, trying to get someone in. And any manager, available manager, he will take consideration the job from Liverpool, the job from Barcelona, the job from Bayern Munich before he even considers Man United. Because this club are like, they are in a perfect condition. Any manager that comes to Man United is coming to start a new project from the scratch. So it takes like manager with like a big courage and someone who really loves Man United
the thing is,
to come in.
Managers are usually very egoistic. They've got really big egos and they want to go out and prove a point. So I'm going to tell you, if out of all of these 4 clubs were to call, let's just say there's a manager A who's liked by every single one of these clubs.
Yeah.
The club that he will respond to the fastest is going to be Manchester United.
I think
the biggest club in the world, my friend. There's no way you can ignore when Man United
we are the biggest club in the world. But looking at the problem that we have, like imagine the players that we bring to Manchester United. They perform a lot. They perform very good in their previous clubs, but they come to United and they struggle. Look at Di Maria. He was performing really good before he came to United. He struggled. Look at Sanchez. Look at Falcao. Just the list goes on and on and on.
Every single signing, my friend.
Yeah,
the
list goes on and on and on. So it seems like, okay, there is a lot of work at United. So getting a manager in, you might need someone who is younger, who wants to like start to build something from the scratch. Like Dan Ashworth says, like, okay, he prefers to be part of a project from the scratch.
Yeah.
So maybe getting someone, let's say De Zerbi, I don't know his profile, like he's not achieved a lot manager-wise.
Yeah.
But getting someone like De Zerbi at United without Karen's project, I think he'll be the right fit. Or do you want to get someone like that in?
The thing is, De Zerbi just makes no sense to me. De Zerbi had a half season last season.
Yeah.
He came in during mid-season. He did very good for a club like Brighton.
Yeah.
How is Brighton performing this season? After they've beaten Man United,
but you should know that, okay, Brighton, they've sold most of their players. They made a lot of money. They cash out.
Same thing.
They are without Moses Caicedo. They are without McAllister as well.
Exactly my point. Even after the semi-final season with Ajax, they sold most of their good players. Yeah. What happened next season? Ajax won the league again. They came back into the Champions League. They won 6 games on the bounce. Who was the manager? Please tell me. So
you still have a lot of faith in Ten Hag.
I am backing him till the very end. The thing is, De Zerbi has never managed a club even the size of Ajax, and then you want him to do the world's biggest job. I just think that's very naive to say.
But you have to give him the chance because everyone has potential in them. You
Of
never know the
course, then
potential in
of
people
course,
unless you give them the
but the
platform.
thing is, Ten Hag has proven potential, whereby we have
But
seen
he's
in the
failed.
right environment he can do amazing stuff.
He's
Even last
failed.
season, we had conceded the third least amount of goals in the whole Premier League. How does that happen, my friend?
Mm,
How does that happen?
he-
The
he-
thing is, people have such short memories; they forget the good things that he did last season. Everybody wanted to be full of praises. I think the media was waiting.
Or even if you're talking about what like managers did, Ole did a lot. He achieved a lot at United
Yeah,
in his short term.
absolutely. Yeah,
Mourinho achieved a lot in his short term.
absolutely.
With United, we don't have that time to give you time. Okay, we're giving a lot of time. Okay, this season, next, and I think he signed 3 years contract here, 3 years
Yeah.
contract. So okay, we should sit down and be considering a lot of goals like Fulham. Fulham have not scored against United at Old Trafford for 20 years.
I totally understand, but the
For
thing
20
is,
years, so we just have to be.
these kind of records were also broken under Oli. These kind of records were also broken under Jose. The problem at Man United has always been the cultural, and there has been no correct structure. Now, finally, when there is a proper structure coming in, why wouldn't you give a an opportunity to a manager who's outperformed every other manager ever since?
You think so? You think he's been our best manager
He
since
has the highest win percentage out of any Man United manager.
Fergie left?
I think his win percentage is even higher than Ferguson.
Highest.
He's got the highest win percentage in Man United's history as a manager. And now you want to get rid of him because, oh, we've lost to Fulham despite us having 34 different injuries this season.
Nah, the injuries for me, we shouldn't even count on injuries. Like because looking at Liverpool, the game they played against Chelsea this season, they've had players with injuries.
The thing is,
Mo Salah
you remember,
is their key player.
you remember our game against Chelsea? You remember
Yeah.
how many players we had out against Chelsea? The same number. 5-6 players for us were out. 5-6 first team players were out against Chelsea for us. We outperformed them. We had our best performing XG game against Chelsea. We had the highest amount of XG till that point in the Premier League against Chelsea. So if you're telling me the Liverpool B team beat Chelsea in a final and they've done so amazingly well, no. We did the same thing at Stamford Bridge. Narrative can't be different for every other manager. Jurgen Klopp has been at Liverpool for 9 years now. 9 years. Of course, he has had the time to have his influence on the academy. How long has Erik Ten Hag been in the job? Maybe 18 months, 20 months? Has he had enough
19.
time? That's my only question. We've been making the same mistake again and again and again and again because the fans are too impatient. Just keep your head
Nah,
down.
we United
keep your
every
cool.
game is a win.
And
we
even
United
Ten
every
Hag
game.
says it. Every game for us is a cup final. Every game for us is a cup final. But how many players do you see on the pitch putting in an effort like this as a cup final?
But he is the manager. He should be in charge. He should be ruthless.
Of
If you know
course,
this player is
he
not
has
good,
been ruthless.
if you know this player is not good enough, just get rid of him. Just he shouldn't be part of the squad.
Anthony hasn't been good enough. He is on the bench. He's on the bench.
Yeah, because his job
And
is underlined. His job is underlined. Imagine he uses Anthony. Anthony underperforms, and we lose. He knows, okay, if he loses 2 or 3 games, imagine we lose tonight against what's the name? Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
We lose against City.
Yeah.
We lose against Everton. You think Ten Hag will still be at Old Trafford?
He has to be. He should be.
Oh,
He
man.
should be.
Man, look, what's his name? Sir Jim Ratcliffe loves United. He's a United fan, but he should take this job back. Okay, this is a business job. These are people's emotion. Like with this, bro, people have been supporting United for the past 70 years. We cannot build our. Let's say, okay, we're building a club on hopes. Okay, let's give him some time. It's gonna come off good. Let's give him some time. It's gonna come off good, bro. 2 seasons. It takes certain good managers like just 2 seasons to turn things around.
He hasn't
And
even had
since
2 full
he came
seasons.
to United, it's been the same. The same structures has been the same. Players not turning up, players underperforming, and yes, still they're still at Old Trafford. He signed a lot of players that are underperforming, but yes, still.
No one said this last season. No one said this last season when we were winning trophies.
So
when we
that's
were
that's
playing
the
to
problem
cup
at United.
finals.
We don't have time. We don't have the
thing is,
patience.
we're very
to give it.
inconsistent. The thing is, if some other first team players would have been injured, other than the players who are really fundamental to Ten Hag's philosophy,
Yeah.
if let's say, if Bruno Fernandes would have been injured instead of Mason Mount, or if Harry Maguire would have been injured most of the season instead of Lisandro Martinez, if Diogo Dalot would have been injured for most of the season in place of Van Bissaka and Luke Shaw, I promise you we would have been in a much better position.
Yeah.
The thing is, the players who are absolutely the most important to his philosophy have been injured or have been underperformed.
Yeah.
And the amount of off-pitch stuff that Ten Hag has had to deal with, I don't think any other manager
Yeah.
has to go
So
through
talking
that
about
personally.
players that have been like injured this season, I managed to get this like Sammy from United People's TV.
Yeah.
He did this statistics last night, which was really interesting. So he gave the list of United players and the number of games they've missed through injury. So Tara Malacia has missed 35 games. 35 games to
No,
injury.
no.
Ahmad has
backup.
missed 27 games. Mason Mount has already missed 23 games. Lisandro Martinez has missed 22 games. All
Wow.
these players have missed not a card, not disciplinary action, is injuries. Kobe Mino has missed 17 games to injury. Casemiro 17, Luke Shaw 16, Anthony Martial 12 games, Wan-Bissaka 10, Lindelof 10, Eriksen 8, Rasmus Højlund 8, Amrabat 6, Harry Maguire 6, Johnny Evans 5, and Brian 5 as well.
Thing is, Ten Hag made 3 major signings this season.
Yeah.
Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, and Onana. Yeah.
Onana, yeah.
Mason Mount has been out for most of the season, so
Mason Mount has been out 23
we haven't
games.
really seen what Ten Hag's plan was with Mason Mount. Rasmus Højlund, when he first came in, first of all, he was 20 years old, and he had a back injury, so he didn't play the first 3-4 games, and then he got injured again during international duty, and now he's injured again.
He's injured again, yeah.
As he's hitting form. Onana was really, really diabolical in the Champions League, but he's been, I would say, he's been half decent in the Premier League ever since. And Amrabat has been a loan signing anyway, so please don't.
No, Amrabat, he's been disappointing.
And he's been injured most of the times as well. Please remember, Amrabat has been injured most of the times as well.
But when he was coming in, looking at his performance at the World Cup, I was like really excited, thinking like, okay, our midfield is going to get boosted.
He was the best midfielder against West Ham in the Conference League final as well. The thing is, I genuinely don't think Amrabat is a bad player.
He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player. I think like he's struggling to get his growth at United.
Yeah, and he hasn't really been given a true chance. Let's be honest here. I think he's another Donny van de Beek, whereby we buy him, everybody is excited, he gets a couple of chances, and then boom, he's gone forever.
I think that's the problem at United. Like I said earlier on, a lot of people come United like with good profile, but the moment they get to Old Trafford or Carrington, they struggle to keep up to the pace and the expectation.
I'm just hoping. See, even I said this last time. I just want him to have a fair consideration. If you sack him today,
Ten Hag,
you will get an interim manager in, and then most of these players. The thing is, when Ralf Rangnick was here, everybody was convinced we need to sell at least 10-15 players. We need to get rid of 10-15 players. And then when Ten Hag came in, you know what he did? He was like, I'm going to give some of these players a second chance. And most of the players proved them right. Rashford scored 40 goals last season. Bruno Fernandes was on fire last season.
Rashford. Not even talk about Rashford now.
No, listen to me. Now, if a new manager comes in, he's going to have the same ideas as Ten Hag. Oh, you know what? I like some of these players. I'm going to give them a second chance. And then again, we're in the same cycle whereby these players remain here. A new manager comes in. They perform good for some time. And then boom, it's the same old cycle again.
But with the players that we have, most of them are running out of contract.
And that is a very good thing.
And this is a new project under Ineos. And I think Ineos have to be ruthless. They have to get rid of most of the players at United. Most of them are not United
the
material.
The most important thing that we can do now is rather than focusing on let's get rid of Ten Hag, please get the right people in the right spots now. Get Cox in, get Dan Ashworth in, get as many people as you want in now before the summer window starts. I don't want them to make excuses like the Glazers make all the time. Oh, we couldn't do this because we didn't have this. Oh, because we couldn't do this because we didn't have this. Before you look at changing the manager, your first priority now should be starting from the top, making sure all the decisions, all the people are in there before the summer transfer window. Is that too much to ask? It isn't, right? Once you have the proper structure, and then if you decide, you know what, this guy's not the right man for us, let him go. His contract's going to expire next season anyways. So why not just give him one more season? Why can't we show some faith to a guy who really came here with the right intentions?
But that's one thing you should understand. United is not about like, okay, let's give him the faith or let's. I want him to be successful at United. I want him to be successful at United. But you should understand that United, we don't have the time. We don't have. Come on, we compete with the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool.
When was that, Mo? That was 10 years ago.
That's where we're supposed to be. That's the problem. That's where we are supposed to be. That's where we want to be.
The thing is, doing the same thing again and again and again, that's the definition of insanity. So, I don't want my club to go insane.
So for me, that's what I'm saying. Okay, now we have new management in. We have Ineos in. We're starting a new project. For me, I'm going to say, okay, let's see Ten Hag with the next couple of games coming in. Let's say to the end of the season.
At least end of the season. All I'm saying is give him at least till end of the season.
Yeah, if he feels like the performance doesn't look good, definitely he has to go, bro. We just have to get someone in, start from the scratch. We know, okay, we have new management, we have new board members, and we have a new manager as well.
Okay,
new philosophy, like wasn't Sergio Maraclef said, they will determine the kind of football, the style of football that we're gonna play.
And that's how it should be.
So that's how it's gonna be. So getting someone in, Ten Hag has already spent 2 seasons at United. He's used to the structure. He's used to the people there. He's used to working with the people, like him being the boss, him being in charge, deciding the kind of style we play, deciding the players that come in. But a new manager coming in, he knows, okay, I'm going to be People are going to be on top of me. People are going to tell me what to do. But Ten Hag is used to like, okay, I'm the boss here. This is the kind of style we're playing today.
But he was used to the new structure that we have at Man United at Ajax, whereby he wasn't the main boss. He was a part of the team that worked together. The thing is, if we can realize that, you know what Ten Hag can do with a little bit of help, I'm 100% sure Ten Hag himself knows that, you know what, I need their help.
Yeah, he
I
knows
need
it.
to
Come on,
work
the job
with
at
them
United.
together. The thing is, again, it's all about giving him a fair chance. Thing is, why can't they have a private conversations amongst themselves? They ask Ten Hag, you know what? Let's just count the season off. You tell me what are your plans for next season? What style of player do you want
Do
to
you
have
think
for
he's
next
going to be
season?
that? People will just.
What are you gonna want? What are your plans for next season? If the plans don't match, then please let him go.
Do you think the fans, people
thing
just
is,
agree?
Have a mature conversation with the man that you need to put in a lot of faith
Yeah,
in.
I'm sure they've already had that conversation.
And
already.
Ten Hag says that as well. We are having consistent conversations with Ineos, and I'm not at all worried. I don't think I'm on the trial right now. My focus is on this project. This is a long process, and my only priority is to make sure that this project is successful. He's not being selfish at all. He's not really saying, I need to win because I want to save my job. Of course, he's not going to say that in public. But just have a private conversation with the new people coming in and just decide what they want to do. If they see in different views, let him go. That will be fair. I'm not saying just blindly back him. All I'm saying is give him a fair chance.
I want him to succeed. I want him to succeed at United, because for me, all I want is like, okay, to see United where it belongs.
100%.
To be on top, to compete the likes of City and Liverpool. But just looking at United now, we're even struggling to beat Aston Villa. We're struggling to beat, even look, our game against Aston Villa. We won that game by chance. Against Wolves, we struggled to beat Wolves. Against Luton, we won that game.
Every top 6 team that has gone to Villa Park has struggled this season, by the way. Every top 6 team that has gone to Luton Town's place has struggled this season. Premier League, they weren't so good, were they?
Yeah.
When they played each other. The thing is, Mo, we need to be fair here. You're playing with the handicapped team, and then you expect him to perform each game, or just because we're Man United.
That's the problem. That's another problem with United.
It hasn't worked.
Listen, that's another problem with Erik Ten Hag. With United, we shouldn't. Like, our performance shouldn't be based on like, because 3 players are injured, so like we cannot perform. Or 2.
No,
how many squad have we got?
We've got injured. We don't have only 3 players injured.
No, I'm just saying. For instance, our starting
first team players are out. Even the backups are not available. We have. Please just comprehend this. How many squad to play a lanky Victor Lindelof as our left back? Do you really think a club like Man City or Liverpool?
But who made the decision? He made the decision. How many left back did we have?
We don't know that.
We have Reguilon.
No, we don't know that.
We had Reguilon. We had Brendan Williams. We had Alvaro Fernandez. Who made the decision to send them on loan?
Do you really think a manager's gonna say, you know what, I don't want an extra player in my team? It's just impossible. Let's just be real here, Mo. If I was to give you 2 chocolates instead of 1 chocolate, you would obviously want 2 chocolates on your hand. We can't. Again, we're just making assumptions here that Ten Hag just said, yeah, you can let Reguilon go. We don't know. Maybe he didn't have a choice.
But who calls the shot, bro? He calls the shot.
No,
he's the manager.
No, he's not the owner of Man United.
No, I know he's not. He's not the owner. But if it comes now on our current squad, like under the Glazers,
I don't know. I don't think that's true.
Under the Glazers, under the Glazers, Ten Hag has been most of the signing that we did at United.
Yeah,
it's
he's
under
been
Ten Hag.
Influential.
He's been influential.
A big voice, but he hasn't been the only voice. The thing is,
the thing with
Reguilon going back, I think it's purely a monetary matter, whereby club told him we don't have the money to keep him, he has to go back. It was a 6-month loan to begin with anyways. It wasn't like it was a 12-month loan and we sent him back. It was always supposed to be a 6-month loan. The 6 months were over, and then he had to go back. Maybe we just didn't have the money, Mo. We don't know. We just don't know.
No, for me, I want him to succeed. I want Ten Hag to succeed at United, but not at this rate. Not
of course.
losing these games,
every
like losing at Fulham at home.
It hurts.
Do you know what it's like traveling from Manchester to London? We've lost to Fulham 2-1 at Old Trafford. Do you know what it's like? I was sitting in the bus for 6 hours. I couldn't wait to get to Victoria.
It's grim. It's depressing. I totally understand.
It's too depressing. Like,
the thing is, this is the same kit that I was wearing when we lost the Europa League final, and I haven't been the same since.
No.
That game traumatized me, and I want us to go back to winning ways in an organic way. When I can finally see we have the right, in my opinion, I think he's the right man for the job. Maybe, okay, Nagelsmann, I'm not saying other managers can't do a job. They certainly can do a job, but this guy can also do a job. Then why do you want to add an extra step to the process, whereby a new manager again comes in, settles down? There's no guarantees in the sport, Mo. He's had 1 good season, he's had 1 bad season. Why can't we give him another season to prove himself? Don't say, it's Man United, we do this and that. The thing is, for 10 years, my friend, we haven't been the same club.
You could be given
Our
that
ambitions
chance.
have to be to win the Premier League, Champions League every season.
Let me look at an example here. David Moyes with West Ham.
Yeah.
He won them the Europa League last year. That's their first time of winning
Conference,
Conference League. That's the first time of winning like a European League, Conference League. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've lost how many games this season? They've lost like 6-7 games, and the
You know
fans
why?
are already calling for his head off, bro.
Yeah,
Even
you
look
know
at the
why?
West Ham fans; they are not even pleased. They are not content with their performance this season. And Manchester United, bro. Manchester, look at the name, look at the weight.
I totally understand.
If
but
West Ham are
which-
calling for David Moyes to get fired, why shouldn't you call for Ten Hag to
I
get
think
fired?
that's delusional.
It's
I
not
think
delusional, bro.
It is. It is
No
delusional.
way, my
If West
brother.
Ham fans are calling for David Moyes to get sacked after what he did for them last season, I think it's delusional. They need to understand not every team is going to have the same amount of players in their team like Man City do or Liverpool do or Chelsea do. The thing is, even last season, Ten Hag said it himself. Arsenal have been really lucky this season because most of their first team players have been in the squad. They haven't been injured. And the same thing has happened this season. I'm not wishing injuries on any other club.
No.
But the thing is, their most important players have been available for most of the season. And what happened to Arsenal when they lost some of the good players last season? They lost the league. How does that happen? Should
Nah,
they sack?
Now, for us now,
Arteta?
for us now, I think what cost them the league last season was Thomas Partey. Look at this season; they had Declan Rice. Imagine if they depended on Thomas Partey this season as well, and the number of injuries he's had this season. But they had Declan Rice. He turned everything around.
Did we?
Even without having Gabriel Jesus, they're still managing to win the league, to win matches. And look at the number of goals that they're scoring
We
this
didn't
season.
have a striker last season, Mo. Martial was out for most of the season. You know who
we had
who-
Cristiano. We had Cristiano before the World Cup.
and who left? Who threw a tantrum giving an interview to Piers Morgan? Who didn't want to be
But
the
most of
number
the things
two?
Cristiano said about United,
It's
about
true.
Old Trafford, it's true,
He
and
is
everything
the
is coming
player
out now.
that
So
I love the most in this club.
So
But
imagine-
I'm not blind enough to just say, oh, because Cristiano this and that. Simo, we got okay. Let's say we let Cristiano go. Who should we bring back in? Someone of the caliber of Cristiano. Who did we get in? Tell me.
we could have brought Harry Kane in.
Yeah, but who did we get? We got Weghorst. We got Weghorst instead of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Instead
I
of
don't want to
Cristiano
swear on
Ronaldo.
your podcast.
So
my friend. Goes on to
that's
show.
why you have to blame Ten Hag again, because he recommended that player as well. That's why I'm
No,
saying
Mo,
Bro,
if okay,
Ten Hag,
okay,
he's the manager. If he doesn't like
so
a player,
you're
you
telling
cannot
me-
bring
you're
him. You
telling
cannot
me
bring
it
him.
was- okay.
You cannot bring him a player that he doesn't want.
Okay.
Do you think? Will you bring?
Okay. No, Mo. Listen. We're talking about Weghorst, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else was available then at that time?
Yeah, it was in the mid-season, so definitely it's going to be difficult for you to get a striker
That's
in.
my point, Mo. We're not the same club as what we think we are, whereby we can just get in the best striker in the world. First of all, there was no good player available in the market. But again,
But we could
it's
have-
not the manager's job.
But at the end of the
is,
season, we could have
Ten Hag has
Rasmus Holland is performing, but we
Yeah.
could have spent more to get Harry Kane.
again, Mo. The thing is, we're just assuming that this is FIFA career mode, whereby you've been given a £250 million budget,
Yeah.
you just spend it the way you want to. No, Mo. Mason Mount was a John Murta signing, by the way.
Yeah.
It was John Murta who went to Erik Ten Hag and said, you know what, we can get Mount from Chelsea. He has interest has been shown into him by Liverpool and Arsenal. Do you want to get him? We can get him because fucking hell, we're Man United.
But
And of course he said yes because Mason Mount is a good player, but he's been injured most of the season. The thing is, the drop-off between our first team players and our second team players is just abysmal. You know, we don't have enough depth. You say Thomas Partey went, so they got Declan Rice. We got rid of Cristiano Ronaldo and we got a 20-year-old Rasmus Højlund. The thing is, we've been lucky that he's been performing good. But he wasn't performing good. If you get rid of a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, you need to get a player like him.
So we should have that plan before. Even though Ronaldo, like what he did here, definitely he couldn't be at the club.
But again,
we should have had that plan to get
from
someone
the club and not just the manager. I'm not saying manager's not part of the club planning. He is, but he's not the only voice in there. We've been crying for a good director of football. Now, finally, when a good director of football comes in, it's the manager's fault all of a sudden. Yeah, it's just so hypocritical. You know?
let's see what happens. Having these people, having Dan Ashworth in, Davis Brosford, what's his name, Omar Berrada,
and Mr. Blanc as well. You know,
Yeah.
Mr. Blanc seems very interested in getting Zinedine Zidane, the French connection.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not gonna say Zinedine Zidane is not a realistic possibility. I think it is. I certainly think that Zinedine Zidane to Man United now is a real possibility because he's seeing, oh, okay, these guys are building something else. And of course, we're Man United. You know, he knows that we're at least the second biggest club in the world in his eyes.
Yeah, so
And he sees that Blanc is a very famous executive from. He's from France as well. He's managed in Juventus, and Juventus again. Zinedine Zidane has links with Juventus, so maybe Zinedine Zidane is a name that we are interested in. But if you're telling me, we're gonna get De Zerbi instead of Ten Hag, I'll rather stick with Ten Hag. Okay?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying De Zerbi. I'm not saying.
If you say Graham Potter instead of Ten Hag, I am sticking with Ten Hag.
Yeah, no, Potter. No, no one wants
Only
Potter.
one manager I'm gonna take over Erik Ten Hag is Zinedine Zidane, just because of his name. That's it. Don't say Julian Nagelsmann. Don't say Julian Nagelsmann. Don't take his name.
Let's see.
He's gonna struggle with the same squad.
Let's see what happens in this. But a new manager comes in. He's gonna like. I think there should be a lot of players that have to leave United.
This is the same thing that
and
we
we
said
have a lot
2
of
years
players.
ago. Thing is, I can tell you now, either one of Casemiro and Varane are gonna leave. That's 100% sure. I think these guys are the new De Geas of the club, whereby you're just pushing good players, but who are on extremely high amounts of wage, so they're just pushing them out.
And even with all the players that their contracts are expiring end of the season, I don't think no one contracts is supposed to be renewed. From Amrabat, Anthony Martial, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton, and Rafael Varane. I think they all have to go.
They will go. The thing is, in terms of having a team core, I'm only going to keep 4 players. I'm being very honest. I'll keep Lisandro Martinez, I'll keep Kobe Mainoo, I'll keep Rasmus Højlund, and I'll keep Alejandro Garnacho. These are the only 4 players that I'm interested in from now on. Everybody else can just go.
Not even Bruno Fernandes.
He's my favorite from the current team, but he's going to be 34, 33 by the time his contract ends anyway.
So, Bruno Fernandes, yeah? Let me see. Fernandes.
28, 27.
Yeah, he's going to be 29. He's going to be 31 by then.
Yeah,
31 by 2026.
And I think it's a good time for him to move on as well. He joined when he was 24, leaves when he is 31. I think that's the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, my only doubt... Okay, I'm very happy with letting these players go, by the way. Okay, let them go. I have no problems. But my problem will be when we don't get good enough players back.
With the new structure, I have a lot of faith in that Ashworth. With like the new structure that we have, I don't think like any player will just walk through Old Trafford like that.
But again, as I said to you before, I want him before the summer transfer window starts. I don't want there to be any excuses. You know what? We underperformed. We didn't get the right players this summer window because we didn't have our team in. Because then again, it just literally cancels the next season as well.
Yeah.
Get in the right people as soon as you can. That's the only thing that I want. The thing is, I'm very skeptical still. I'm not going to be very happy till I see results on the pitch. As a manager, you can only send the team out. Once the players are on the pitch, it's out of your hands. The game that we talk about Liverpool, the game against Liverpool, I think that was a freak result. Even Jurgen Klopp in his post-match comments said this is a freak result. It was just the players not believing that every shot that Liverpool are having is just going in. And then once you go past that 3 or 4 goal mark, you just give up, you just crumble. That's very wrong. You shouldn't be doing that as a Man United player anyways.
Yeah.
And then people want to blame De Gea for that game as well. Oh, it was De Gea. I know the XG was 2.3, but we conceded 7 goals, this and that. I think that's just... I hate these Twitter tacticals, man.
I know De Gea has been the only player that has won like Premier League Player of the Season.
Like 4 times?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think since 8 years, he's been the only player that has won that trophy.
Yeah, and he's won the Golden Glove twice for as well. I think, you know, I'm sort of happy that we let him go on a good note, because it wasn't
on a good note.
I mean, in terms of like, he won the Golden Glove in his last season and he's gone now, because it was so toxic in terms of fans. Some people wanted him out, some people wanted him in, and I think it plays on your head as well. You know, yesterday he very innocently replies to Castro's comment, whereby Castro says, "Oh, De Gea, would you save my penalty?" And he says, "I would catch it." And then people are spamming his comments with the Europa League penalty shootout. That's just so wrong, man. Just let it go. Why can't you look back to the good times? He's a Premier League winner for our team. He's the same keeper that we won our trophy with last season.
So before we go, let's do like a combined starting 11. United and City for the weekend game. Let's do a combined starting 11.
You know what it is.
Let's see which players can get in.
Are we talking about the teams, the players that are available?
That are available, yeah. United and City.
The whole team has to be Man City players.
The whole team, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's how bad we are, bro. Not even one United player can get into the City.
Let me be honest. We've been seeing a combined Man City team for the past, I think, 4 years, whereby it's only been City players. So again, the thing is,
but we used to have the likes of Bruno Fernandes like getting into like a combined City and United.
But a lot of City fans would argue we don't really want Bruno Fernandes. We would
rather
have
stick with Kevin De Bruyne,
Rodri, De Bruyne, or Kovacic even. Thing is, this season is just very obvious that we're not gonna. Yeah.
So with this like debates that people are saying, like if you were to choose Phil Foden or Saka, you start one and bench one.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Saka because I like Saka. I really do. And the thing is, I literally saw Foden score a hat-trick live.
But with Foden, his performance this season, bro. Last night, a pass that he gave Phil Foden
The thing is, I think one thing that Phil Foden has better than Saka is his versatility, whereby he can play multiple positions in the Pep Guardiola
Yeah.
system. But the thing is, I think Phil Foden might struggle outside the Man City team, whereby I think Saka, in any team he goes, he's going to perform. I don't think Saka comes across to me as a system player. I think he's just a really good talent. Again, Phil Foden's a really good player, really amazing talent as well. But I think maybe in any other team other than City, he may not be the guy. Like Saka is the guy at Arsenal.
Yeah.
He can be the guy anywhere else.
Yeah.
With Phil Foden, I don't think so, man.
Yeah. So, folks, it's been an interesting conversation as usual. It's CWMC Convo with Moses and Dish as well. Dish, it's been an interesting one.
Yeah, man,
It's
it
been
got
an
heated in the middle. Yeah, we can clearly see there's a divide
Yeah,
between
bro.
opinions.
Everyone has different opinion, especially when it comes to Ten Hag. For me,
Yeah.
I don't consider the manager. All I want is for United to win. It doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
don't care about like, okay, let's give him some time or that kind of thing. If we give you the time and you're not performing, for me, you just have to move for someone else to come in.
I understand.
Yeah,
And
for me, I have to come
really
because
do.
you know what? One game that I don't forget is I think United versus Barcelona in 2009 Champions League final or 2010. Yeah, but I cried on that game. So imagine like that passion I have for United.
Yeah.
I cry when we lose games.
You talking about
So-
passion? Hey, can you see?
Yeah, the tattoo, yeah.
They have a tattoo, man. Don't talk too
Yeah,
passionate about me.
so imagine like being a United fan and then every game that we know, okay, we just going, it's another one. It's one of those games we're just going to get beaten. We're just going to concede 2 or 3 goals.
The thing
If
is,
I, looking at this
it's
City
not
game,
okay.
this is how bad United is. We're going to a game
I
against
understand,
City,
and yeah, that's
a
the
derby,
truth.
and then we are like, we just hope they don't score us like
Yeah.
more than 2 goals. Or
The
that's
thing
how
is-
bad we are.
Losing is not okay, by the way. The
It's
thing
not
is,
okay.
I'm just used to losing now, so I don't really lose my shit every time we
You
lose.
see, that's the problem. That's the problem. You don't have to get
No,
used
the
to
thing
because you
is, my
support
standards are
United.
still very high. The thing is, now that this new ownership is coming, I'm gonna make sure that every fan holds them to the topmost standards possible, because they're coming in with such grand promises. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Let's just see what they do.
Imagine-
I'm just very excited. That's all I'm gonna say. Not
it-
for this season. This season's gone forever, man.
Imagine people
Next season.
Imagine people that buy season tickets, and then they're going to Old Trafford.
Imagine the
we're just
fans.
going-
Imagine the fans in Asia that stay up till 3-4 a.m. like I used to when I was in India to watch games and have to go to school next day. Or
And
go to
imagine the
work
fans
next
in
day.
Africa that we have to go in a cinema to pay money and watch. Even though like the
Exactly,
cinema is
see?
full, but yes, still you have to stand on the chair from outside the cinema just to. Even though you've paid, you have to stand outside the chair on the cinema, like in the window, to have a look at United playing.
The thing
There's
is,
been a lot of situation whereby I go like. I get into a cinema when I was a kid. I usually get into a cinema. There's this cinema like across my house, and then when I was a kid, I couldn't get money to even pay to go and watch United games. So like, I mostly sneak and get in the cinema, and then the man who takes care of like the people in the cinema, he'll be watching, he'll be walking because he knows where I usually hide when I go in because he'll be there. And he's like, Mo, are you there? Mo, you just come and grab me then. And some of the fans will be like, in our local language, Jaino, like it means leave him,
Let him go,
yeah, let him go. So that's how
The
how
thing
far we've
is,
come.
everybody loves this club, and we all hate when we lose the game. But we need to be realistic in about how we can come back and be a good team. The thing is, if we sack Ten Hag and if we become a good team, I'm not going to be upset and saying, why did they sack Ten Hag, man? I'm so upset. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be the happiest guy on this
Yeah.
planet. Just like you, I just want my team to perform good. I think we can still perform good with this manager next season. Maybe you have different opinions. And you know what? It's not you versus me. Ultimately, it's your love and my love for Man United together, and we just want the team to win. I think
Yeah,
that's a
we
very good note
just
to
all we just want
end
is
this
the team to
podcast.
win. Like it doesn't matter like who is in, who is out, who leaves. Even when it comes to even Marcus Rashford, I don't mind letting Marcus Rashford go because like okay, like I said in our previous podcast, he's been there, he's done a lot, but now he's not giving us what we want from him.
We let Cristiano go for the very same reason.
Yeah,
You've been
so-
amazing, but I think it's time to move on because we want to do better. And we did very good without him last season anyways. So you know what, the thing is, I'll be very honest, Mo. I have no emotional attachment to any player in this
But
team.
you have emotional attachment to Ten Hag. You don't want.
I mean,
you have
thing is,
emotional attachment
the
to
thing
Ten
is,
Hag.
just seems unfair to me. These players have been here for quite some time. Okay, I have no sympathy for these players. I have sympathy for Ten Hag, but he has to fight this just by himself. It's his job. I totally understand. The thing is, I have no emotional attachment to any player or any manager in this club anymore.
But with Ten Hag, he knows the intensity of the job at United. He knows the caliber of Man United before he signed his contract.
Of course,
So
he
he
does.
should take any hit that comes to the job.
And I'm not saying Ten Hag shouldn't take any accountability. And I'm sure Ten Hag is a man with pride and he takes all accountability possible. But whenever Ten Hag tries to justify what has happened, people just don't want to listen to him. People just always making
Because
excuses.
we see what happens. We see what happens on the pitch, and we read
I
we know what's
understand.
going on
I
around Old
fully
Trafford. So
understand.
you cannot, like what he said about Anthony. Anthony is a good player. He can beat any defender on any good day. He, like in the conference he did yesterday before the Nottingham Forest game.
Yeah.
He said, okay, Anthony is a good player. He gave us statistics about Anthony in Ajax.
Ajax.
But we're not seeing that stats at Man United. We want to see. We don't care about what he did at Ajax. We want to see what he's doing at United. That's the problem.
And that's the same thing that Ten Hag has said as well. I want to see Anthony perform. The day he starts performing, he's going to be back in the team. What else do you want him to do? What else?
He brought him to United. So, anything that comes with it, he just has to take it.
Of course. And I am sure that Ten Hag takes responsibility whereby he says, you know what? Why do you think Ten Hag is so upset with Anthony anyways? Because he's like, I showed so much faith in you and you're not performing anymore. You know, you hate, you're most upset with the people that you love the most as well. Just let him have that time, man. Thing is, the season's already over. I've given up.
So you've given up.
I have. What else? We're 11, 8.
Imagine
11
if everyone
points
says,
behind.
okay, we are all giving up now. We are not going to Old Trafford to watch any games anymore. We don't care about
If
Man
they
United
did that,
anymore.
we probably wouldn't have the Glazers in anymore. Yeah, mic drop moment,
It's kind of difficult to give up.
It
It's
is
kinda
very
difficult-
hard, and I'm not
difficult to
gonna
give
see.
up
The
on
thing
United.
is, I'm not gonna question any way the fans want to support the team. Is your choice. My way is to just back the manager till the very end. I did the same with Oli. I did the same with Jose. I'm gonna do the same for Erik Ten Hag as well. I genuinely believe that these managers aren't just a job. They are there for a reason. And if you don't give them the resources to succeed, don't be surprised when they don't succeed. That's all I have to say. I'm not, again, if you bring in a new manager, if you're very successful, I'll be the happiest man on this planet. I'm going to get another tattoo when we win the Premier League next season. Don't worry.
He's
worry.
going to win the Premier League next season. It's going to take us 2 or 3 years to get.
Oh,
win the
no.
Premier
Whenever
League.
we win the Premier League next season, I'm going to get it on my hand again. I'm 100% sure. And I know it's coming. I can feel it in my heart that Man United will
But even
be
look
better.
at watching City's games last night, and I was just wondering myself, what's so different? What happened? The difference between United and City.
It's just
Even
culture,
look
man.
at the bench of Man City yesterday. The players they had on the bench, all the players they had on the bench, most of them, I think 50% will start at United.
And do you think it just happens? Or did it happen? No, they made it happen. How? With good planning, with a proper structure. Now, finally, we're moving towards having a good structure, a good ownership. Why not? Why not just be a bit more patient? I'm not saying for another 10 years, but maybe 1 season, maybe 2 seasons. That's it. That's what I'm going to say. Not with Ten Hag, with anybody. I think we need to be patient. I don't think that success is just going to come.
No,
all of a
with
sudden.
Ten Hag, I think we just have to stick with him to the end of the season. We don't have an option at the moment now.
I think
We don't
think
have
every
an
fan
option.
should at least agree that there's no point in sacking him now. Just
We
at
don't have
least
an
wait till the
option
end of
now.
the season, man.
We don't have an
If he's
option.
gonna go, he's gonna go anyways. That's all I'm gonna say.
We don't have any option now. We just have to wait to the end of the season and see what he puts out. Even though I'm not expecting much from him, because we've already lost a lot of games that we're not expecting to lose. We lost them, so I'm not expecting much from him.
Yeah, there have been a few games where I was surprised as well. Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Nottingham, West Ham. All these games we should not be losing, and I understand why so many people are frustrated. I think it's my ability to move
I
on.
couldn't believe losing to Fulham at Old Trafford. Losing to Fulham 2-1 at Old Trafford.
I'll give you a better one. We lost to Bournemouth 3-0 at Old Trafford.
It's heartbreaking. Imagine you just keep on asking yourself, when is this game going to be over? Because the goals keep on coming and coming and coming, and you don't have any hopes. If you look on the bench, there is no one that will come from the bench. Even though now we have Scott McTominay, who mostly come from the bench to just pull up a surprise. But now that we having,
it's just over, man. I think game against City, we can just pray. That's what I'm gonna say. We can just pray.
And that Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland connection, they have that link again now. And
Well,
Bernardo
yeah,
Silva and what's his name? Phil Foden. Looking at these people, looking at Julian Alvarez, looking at what's his name? Rodri.
Yeah. Rodri's so clutch for them as well, man. He just, whenever they need him the most, he just scores and does something amazing. Well, it is what it is, man. We'll just see. Hopefully, when we're meeting next, we have big smiles on our face because we're beating Man City at their home. Why not? It's possible. Never say never, my friend.
That would be the biggest surprise of the year. If you beat City at home, that would be the biggest surprise.
Absolutely. I think
that would be the biggest surprise.
More surprising than Leicester City winning the Premier League.
Yeah, no. City.
That's a stretch.
But
yeah.
Leicester City, they're doing well. I think they might come back to the Premier League.
100%. I think they're
100%,
first in the Championship. You know
the
what? The
Championship, they're
team that I
performing.
really want to see in the Premier League?
Yeah.
Ipswich Town and
Ipswich,
Middlesbrough. Yeah, because those are two potential future Man United managers. You know,
Mm.
those are two very good coaches who we let go, and rightfully so. You know, it doesn't. Okay, if they're doing good now, it doesn't necessarily mean they were good enough for Man United. You know, when they were here, probably they learned, probably developed, and yeah. So I want to see maybe Middlesbrough, Ipswich, Leicester, and even Southampton. I think Southampton are a really exciting team.
Yeah, Southampton are exciting.
They're playing Liverpool today, and they have. I think the manager's done really good for them. I think they're unbeaten in the last 20
Yeah,
games.
I think what has worked for this team, like I think, like of Leicester and Southampton, is they've maintained most of their players, even though some of the players left, but they maintained most of the players that they had in the Premiership.
Yeah. So I think Southampton, Leicester City, and hopefully one of Ipswich and Middlesbrough come to the Premier League,
And even Leicester City, they won last night. A beautiful standing goal from Fatawi Sako. He's from my country, so I was proud.
Okay.
Yeah, I was proud of that goal. I was like, no, my boy is killing it. I'm so excited about that.
hopefully, we can see a very diverse Man United team in the future as well.
Yeah.
You know, where of course we have so many people from different countries in our team, but it will be so great to have an amazing player from Africa, amazing player from Asia, an amazing player from maybe, I don't know,
we had Zidane Iqbal from Asia. He is from Iraq, I think.
Yeah, he was from Iraq.
Yeah, he's from Iraq, and he was good as well from that academy.
He was good. I think he was really good in pre-season, and everybody thought that he was going to get a chance.
Yeah, we thought he's going to get a chance.
But again, maybe let's just not get upset at every player leaving Man United.
Yeah,
we'll see, man. I'm just praying for this game.
Yeah, what matters is like United should get on top. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter like who you support, who is your favorite player, who is your favorite manager. What matters is let's get this up there. That's what matters the most. Yeah, it's been an interesting conversation.
Yes, sir.
We're just gonna see you on our next episode with this.
Yes. You know what? We'll see you next week. Till then, keep blowing United.
Blur United. Peace out.